Good morning, everyone. Students, we have started next book, that is Accounting for Companies, in the previous class, and we have discussed a little theory portion of that, the basics and definitions of the company, which you have already studied in your business studies. Okay. Well, today we will discuss the topic kinds or classes of share. Well, students, as you know, we have two kinds of share: preference shares and equity shares. Let's talk about the preference share first. According to its name, preference shares are containing some preferential rights. Okay. It's containing two kind of rights. The first one is preference over the dividends, means preference shares, preference shareholder, they get the dividend before equity shareholders, right? And second one is right to receive repayment at the time of winding up of the capital. Right to receive the capital first, right, before equity shareholders. So at the time of winding up, preference shareholders, they are receiving their capital back first, right? So right to receive dividend to be paid as fixed amount or an amount calculated at a fixed rate, which may either be free of or subject to income tax before it is paid to equity shareholders. And second one, it's telling that right to receive repayment of capital on the winding up of the company before that of equity shares, right, students? So these two preferential rights these shareholders are having, so we call them preference shares. Fine. Now we will discuss about its kinds of the preference shares, or the types or classes, you can say. So we have divided, we have categorized in the different part, and the first one we have divided on the basis of dividend, right? So with reference to dividend, it's telling that we have two kinds of preference shares, which are like, if we talk in the context of the dividend, that is cumulative and non-cumulative. You have to understand the meaning of cumulative first. Cumulative means keep depositing, कोई चीज जमा होती जाती है, तो that is called cumulative. Okay. And non-cumulative, where the things are not being deposited. What is this thing? This is dividend, right? So cumulative preference shares are those one where if company fail to pay the dividend for 1 year, or say for 2 years, okay, and in the third year company is having the profits, so company declares the dividend. So first the dividend will be paid, the previous 2 years dividend plus the current year's dividend will be paid to the preference shareholders first, and then the turn comes of the equity shares. I hope it is clear. Here the example is given that one company has issued 10,007% preference shares of rupees 100 each. Okay, so their capital is 10 lakh. 10 lakh पे 7% आप calculate करेंगे, right? And for 3 months if you calculate, so that comes 2,10,000. This is 3 months dividend, right? So first company didn't declare the dividend, they didn't pay the dividend to the preference shareholders, cumulative preference shareholders, for 2 years. And in the third year, of course, it has declared the dividend. So preference shareholders will get the dividend for 3 years, that they have calculated 2,10,000, right, before equity shareholders. So this right is available to the cumulative preference shareholders only. Fine. And the equity shareholders which doesn't enjoy this right, they are called non-cumulative preference share. Okay. Next we have, so here they are defining about the non-cumulative preference shares don't carry the right to receive arrears of dividend, right, in the above example, so and so. Now with reference to participation in surplus profit, students, it's talking. So here two kind of preference shares. One is participating preference share, another one is non-participating preference share. Well, according to its name, participating preference share, participating in what? Participating in extra profit. I tell you what happens, students, when the profit is there in the company, and out of this profit dividend is declared. All right. Now when the dividend, regarding preference share, there is a fixed percentage. So preference shareholders, they get the dividend on a fixed percentage, and the remaining amount, whatever is available after keeping the retained earning, okay, so the remaining amount is available for the equity shareholders. All right, so this happens generally, but sometime when company is having very good profits, or you can say extraordinary profit, or company has planned to do so, fine, that time company is giving right to the preference shareholders to participate in some extra profits, right? Means they have initially given to the preference shareholders first, then they have given dividend to the equity shareholders, a few amount they have kept as a retained earning, and still something is remaining. So who is having the right on that? In fact, equity shareholders are having the right, but sometime they give this right to the participating preference shareholders. Okay, so the category of the preference shares which participate in the extra profit are called participating preference shareholders, and those preference shares which is not carrying this right, they are called non-participating preference shares, right? So this was with the reference of the participation in the surplus profit. And third one we have with reference to convertibility. Convertibility means which can be converted. So here we have two kind of shares. First one is convertible preference share, and second one is non-convertible preference share. Well, students, according to its name, convertible preference shares are those one which can be which can be converted into equity shares with the passage of time if the company decides so, and if the articles permits for this, so they can be converted in equity shareholders. And those which can't be converted, they will remain preference shares, are called non-convertible preference shares. Well, with reference to redemption, we have two kind of preference shares. One is redeemable preference share and another one is irredeemable preference share. Well, let me tell you the simple meaning of redemption. Redemption means paying back the money which you have taken from the shareholders. Now you are paying back their money, you are redeeming. So it's very simple to understand, where the preference shares are redeemed during the lifetime of the company, and they have decided not that period should not be exceeding more than 20 years from the date of issue. Okay, so it must repay the amount on preference shares. These kind of shares are called redeemable preference shares, fine. And those shares which are not redeemable during the lifetime of the company and they are paid at the time of winding up of the company, these kind of shares are called irredeemable preference shares, fine. Now the Companies Act 2013, certain major amendments has taken place. So doesn't permit issue of irredeemable preference share. Means the company has done the changes, and after this year, okay, company can't issue the irredeemable preference share. Means company has to issue the redeemable preference shares only, which can be redeemed during the lifetime of the company, means which can be paid. All right, so here we have discussed about the preference shares. Now we will talk about the equity shares. Equity shares of the Companies Act 2013. Well, equity shares are those shares which are not the preference shares and which are not carrying any preferential rights of getting the dividend first and getting the capital first. All right, so they get at last. Equity shareholders, they get the dividend after paying dividend to the preference shareholders, and at the time of redemption also they get their capital at last after paying to the preference shareholders, fine. And here these equity shareholders, they are called the owner of the company, and they are enjoying the voting right, having the controlling right. All these things we have discussed many times. Well, let's talk about the differences between preference share and equity share. Within 1 minute we would like to wind up this. Right to dividend. So dividend is paid on preference shares if it is paid on equity. Dividend is paid on preference shares if it is paid on equity share, and dividend may or may not be paid on equity shares if it is paid on preference share. Students, it's telling that if you have paid the dividend to the equity share, so 100% surety is there, you must have paid a dividend to the preference shareholder. Reason is very clear, because first we pay to the preference shareholder, then we move to the equity shareholder. But there is no surety that equity shareholder, when we pay to the preference shares, so no surety whether you have paid to the equity shareholder or no, because they get in the last. Okay, so dividend may or may not be paid on equity shares if it is paid on preference share. I hope the language is clear. Next, rate of dividend. So here the rate of dividend is fixed. It is prefixed with the name of the preference share, like 7% or 10% preference share. And here it is not fixed. It's fluctuates. Sometime it doesn't get, sometime less, or sometime it doesn't get. Arrears of dividend. Here the cumulative preference shares get the arrear. Okay, and here the dividend is declared every year. In case the dividend is not declared during the year, it's not accumulated in further years. Okay, so they will not get, the dividend is not accumulated. Next one is convertibility. Preference shares may be converted into equity shares. Okay, if your term and conditions agree on that, article of association provides this. And here equity shares are not convertible, these will be equity only. Redemption, redeemable preference shares can be redeemed, right? So preference shares are redeemed on the due date, but a company can't redeem the equity shares in its lifetime. These will be paid at the time of winding up only, but there is a provision. A company may buy back its share, right? Buyback means when the company is buying its equity shares from the market, right? Due to certain reasons. So it is possible only, but not redemption. This process of buying back the share is not called redemption. Fine. Next is voting right. Preference shareholders having voting right only in special conditions. We have discussed in the previous class. If preference shareholders don't get the dividend for 2 years continuously, then the right of voting may be exercised by them. All right. Otherwise, they don't have any voting right. And equity shareholders, they have a voting right. Repayment of capital. On winding up, preference share capital is repaid first, means prior to equity shareholders, and they get in the last, right? Here the payment will be done at last. So right to participate in the management. Preference shareholders don't have a right to participate in the management of the company, but equity shareholders, they have a right to participate in the management of the company, having the controlling right. All right, students, so here we have discussed the differences, and we are moving on the next topic, that is classification of share capital. Well, from here we have started our practical portion. Students, it's very important. This chapter is having very good weightage, and if you complete this chapter properly, this issue of share, that means 50%, or you may say 75% of the issue of debenture also you have completed. Okay, so please be very careful. And the initial things, I mean, the concepts are very important. If your concepts are not clear, this will be difficult for you to do the further question. And you don't have to miss even a single class, and on daily basis you must watch your lecture. And if you have any problem, so then and there only you should solve it. Okay, so classification of share capital, it's not a new thing, we have already discussed, but let's recapitulate the points. The first one is authorized capital, issued capital, subscribed capital, and later on we have called up and paid up capital also. So it's telling balance sheet of a company is prepared in the form prescribed in part 1 of schedule 3 of the Companies Act. Here this is very important, students. Your external may ask, and otherwise also this may come in your exam also, 1 mark question. Okay, that your balance sheet is part of which schedule. Okay, and which part and which schedule, right? So that can be asked. So you must remember, this is schedule 3 and part 1. Okay, balance sheet is in part 1, and later on you'll have a statement of P&L, that is part 2. Okay, so first we will discuss about the authorized capital. See, authorized capital is that maximum capital which company can issue in its lifetime. We have talked about this many times. Students, memorandum of association, we have studied the 6 articles in that. So capital clause we have discussed. If you remember, in capital clause we have to mention the authorized capital. Another name of the authorized capitals are registered capital, nominal capital, and this is authorized capital. Fine. So this is the maximum capital which company can issue in its lifetime. Okay, not more than this. Under this, company can issue, but not more than this, right? Somehow, suppose company is progressing and it want to issue the capital more than the authorized capital, so it can't do, but there is a way out. first company has to do the changes in the memorandum of association, capital clause में changes करने होंगे, and after that, I mean after doing the changes, it will increase its authorized capital. Now you can issue more capital because you have extended your authorized capital. Okay, I hope it is clear. Now next is your issued capital. Issued capital is a part of authorized capital. Students, suppose let's take one example. Well, I have decided 5 crore is my authorized capital, but I just started my business and I don't want to issue this much capital because it is on initial stage, and I need not this much capital. So 5 crore is my authorized capital. Right now I have issued only 5 lakh rupees. So 5 crore is my authorized capital, and under this I have issued only 5 lakh. Okay, so this 5 lakh is my issued capital. Fine. Now out of, I want to issue the 5 lakh rupees as my capital. So this is my issued capital. Now out of this 5 lakh, quite possible that the whole amount is subscribed by the public. Maybe public has subscribed only for 4,50,000, right? So whatever the capital is subscribed by the public, means public jitna apply karti hai, that is your subscribed capital, right students? So subscribed capital and issued capital are a part of authorized capital only. So I'm reading it for you. Issued capital means such capital as the company issues from time to time for subscription. Okay. Now issued capital is a part of authorized capital that is issued for subscription. It includes, besides shares issued for subscription, share allotted for consideration other than cash, share subscribed by signatories. Students, it's telling that issued capital is containing what? It's containing, we have studied in the formation of a company, that company has to issue certain qualification shares to its signatories, okay, directors. So these shares are also a part of issued capital, and company issue the shares in consideration other than cash, means cash ना लेके कंपनी ने जो असेट्स वगैरह किसी से परचेज की थी उसके बदले में जो हम शेयर इशू करते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड issuing the shares for consideration other than cash. So these are also a part of this issued capital. Issued capital means total, in total whatever you have issued to the different group of the people. Fine. Now third one is subscribed. I have told you subscribed capital means such part of the capital which is for the time being subscribed by the members of a company, means the people who are applying for this. Okay, so whatever the capital is subscribed by the public, means applied by the public, so that is subscribed capital. All right, so students, subscribed capital, this is a part of your practical, be very careful. Subscribed capital can be divided in two parts: subscribed and fully paid up, subscribed but not fully paid up. Very soon we are moving towards the practical, but here you should understand this one. Suppose my share, the minimum denomination of my share, I have decided 10 rupees. Okay, and out of 10 rupees I have asked only 8 rupees. Okay, so fully paid up means पूरे का पूरा पैसा 10 rupees आपने कॉल कर लिया and आ भी गया, ठीक है. But here I have asked only for 8 rupees, मैंने सिर्फ 8 रुपए ही मांगे हैं, ठीक है. तो the two categories are there, subscribed and fully paid up, means जितने shares आपने subscribe किए थे, ठीक है, वो सारे के सारे आपने पैसा मांग लिया है, पूरे 10 rupees मांग लिए हैं, एंड उस पर पूरे 10 रुपीज़ आ भी गए हैं. मीन्स अगर आपने सिर्फ 8 रुपीज़ मांगे हैं, ठीक है, दोनों कंडीशन पूरी होनी चाहिए. आपने 10 में से सिर्फ 8 रुपीज़ मांगे हैं तो ये कंडीशन पूरी नहीं हुई है, और लोगों ने 8 रुपीज़ पे कर भी दिया है, मीन्स जितने आपने मांगे पूरा मिल गया है आपको, बट यू डिड नॉट आस्क द होल अमाउंट. सो ये किस कैटेगरी में आएगा? सब्सक्राइब्ड बट नॉट फुली पेड अप, क्योंकि आपके शेयर फुली पेड अप नहीं है. फुली पेड अप कब होंगे? व्हेन यू आस्क द होल 10 रुपीज़ एंड यू रिसीव द 10 रुपीज़. अनदर एग्जाम्पल, सपोज यू हैव आस्क द 10 रुपीज़, आपने लोगों से 10 रुपीज़ मांगे बट आपको 10 रुपीज़ नहीं मिले. कुछ लोगों ने या मान लीजिए पूरे शेयर्स पे आपको 8 रुपीज़ मिले हैं, ठीक है, तो आपने पूरा पैसा मांगा. फर्स्ट कंडीशन यू हैव कंप्लीटेड, बट सेकेंड कंडीशन इज नॉट फुलफिल्ड. So these shares are not called the fully paid up. All right, so for both the categories. Subscribed and fully paid up means both the conditions should be fulfilled. You should ask the whole amount and you should receive also. But second one, subscribed but not fully paid up. Okay, so here this is either of the condition has been fulfilled. Maybe the first condition you have asked the whole amount, or maybe you didn't ask the whole amount. Okay, so they have taken one example. These are covered under the notes to account, but I will teach you further. Let's take the basic thing first, only then you can understand what is this, what are the notes to account, and what we are doing. So students, reach at page number 8.15. Okay, so this is your format of company's balance sheet. This is very important. So I'm not writing it on the copy, I'm just making it clear here only. Students, once last year you have studied the balance sheet. Okay, the balance sheet, I mean the final accounts, or you can say the financial statements. Financial statements which we have discussed last year, I mean in 11th standard. These were the financial statement of sole proprietorship or partnership. Okay, have you understood this? So this was the balance sheet which we have discussed last year. These were the financial statements or balance sheet of the sole proprietorship or partnership, and its shape was like this. You know, that was the format, balance sheet. Okay, this was your liability side and this was your asset side. So we call it a this position is called horizontal. Okay, this was the horizontal. And now the balance sheet which we are learning, company's balance sheet, this is in the vertical form. I hope it is clear what is horizontal and what is vertical. So this is vertical, and this position which we have learned last year, that was horizontal. So in the last year we have seen the balance sheet was moving like this. Here the liability was there and then assets were there. Are you understanding, students? It was moving like this, isn't it? First liability amount, then assets amount. Okay, this was moving like this. But this year the balance sheet is of company. We are learning the balance sheet of a company, and this moves like this. First liabilities comes, of course, and after liability this comes the asset. So this will be in this form. Okay, so we will find it in vertical form. So let's proceed with balance sheet. So here this is balance sheet as at so and so date, and we mention everything is changed, format is completely changed. And you know, in this year, even in partnership, we have studied the balance sheet, and there was no such fixed place of the things. Okay, we were writing anywhere, like here you were writing the cash in hand, cash at bank, and certain assets. So if these assets are replacing the these are replaced, and if you have written the debtors here and investment here, or you may write investment here, debtors here, so it doesn't make any difference, fine. But here everything has a specific place and you can't change that. If you change, so that will be wrong. I hope you are understanding, students. So everything has a fixed space and you have to fill there only, and it is absolutely rigid, you can say. So here the particulars column, note number means details of all these columns we will be doing. So you have to mention the note number. First comes your current year's data, and then comes of the previous year. Are you getting, students? This is particulars, note, current year's data, and the previous year's data. This is always prepared in the comparative form. And first we take this liability, and then comes the assets under it. Okay, so we have the four major headings in the assets. First we start with like here we were writing liability. Okay, students, liability and assets we were writing. So instead of liability we are writing first number equity and liability. Okay, so you have to cram it. अच्छे से लर्न होना चाहिए आपको. The first one is equity and liability, and under equity and liability your first head is shareholders fund. And under the shareholder fund means what shareholder fund is containing. Shareholder fund में क्या क्या चीज़ें आती हैं? That's your share capital, reserve and surplus, money received against share warrant. Okay, ये सारी चीज़ें shareholders fund में है. Second one is your share application money pending allotment. Okay, we will discuss all these what are these one, but later on. Here I'm just explaining, this is the format, these are the terms, and you have to learn it. Okay, so I may take your test otherwise, other than Sunday I can give you this format to prepare. Third one is non-current liability. Students, here we don't write the fixed and current only. Okay, here the things have been changed. So instead of writing fixed liability, current liability and fixed liability दो होती है ना, तो here we don't use the word fixed liability. Okay, so what do we write? Non-current. Non-current liabilities, what is it is containing means for the long time of the period. Long-term borrowings, deferred tax liability, other long-term liabilities, and long-term provisions. Okay, so these were non-current liability. Now we come on the current liabilities. ठीक है, current liability में first comes the short-term borrowings, trade payable, other current liabilities, and short-term provisions. So this is quite easy to learn. This is related to this only. यहाँ पे long-term borrowing था, यहाँ short-term है. ठीक है, and then your third one other long-term liability, यहाँ पे सिर्फ अदर करेंट लाइबिलिटी है. लॉन्ग टर्म प्रोविजन, यहाँ पे शॉर्ट टर्म प्रोविजंस. ओके, so within 5 minutes you can learn if you are attentive. So that's all in the liability side, and here we draw this line, means this simple thing, we do the total, and here the totals will be different because these are the different year na. This is of the current year and this is of the previous year. Fine, but here the balance, I mean total of the assets will be there. So you will find that current year, इस year का liability, the total of liability side will be equal to the asset side, right? And here also total of this liability will be equal to this asset side's total. Okay, now comes the asset side. So the second major heading, first में आपने लिखा था equity and liability, second में आपने लिखा है assets. Okay, so the first under the assets comes the, यहाँ पे major two headings are there only. There were 4 major heading and here is only 2 major heading. First one is non-current and second one is current. ठीक है, non-current assets and here it is current assets. Non-current में क्या चीज़ें हैं? Fixed assets, and under the fixed assets we have tangible assets, intangible assets, capital work in progress, intangible assets under development. Okay, second one is non-current investment, third one deferred tax assets, and next one long-term loan and advances, then other non-current assets. Fine, these all were the part of non-current assets. And in the current assets we have current investment, inventories, trade receivables, cash and cash equivalent, short-term loan and advances, and other current assets. Fine, so this is your format of balance sheet, and you have to cram because this is very much required in the whole chapter. They may ask you to pass the entries and prepare the balance sheet. Fine, and in the next book, the third book which we will start, so the whole book is based on this company, and all the questions are related to the balance sheet only, balance sheet and P&L. So it is must for you. If you are thinking that if you skip in this chapter so you can manage, no, there is no use, because you can't manage the things without cramming this balance sheet. Okay, so you have to do it. Now we were talking about the schedule, students. This is under schedule 3 part 1. Okay, now see this note number is mentioned. How this happens? Here this is telling the share capital. Okay, so here we do very fair work, and we know that so many things can be attached with this. Reserves and surplus is there, and so many things are including in the reserve and surplus. There is a long list of the reserve and surplus. We have the capital reserve, we have a general reserve, we have a security premium reserve. Okay, we have debenture redemption reserve, बहुत सारे reserves हैं. So here is only main heading is given reserve and surplus, right? Now what kind of reserves I have, what other things are there. So I have to show the detail of this reserve and surplus. ठीक है, तो वो हम नोट में डालेंगे. तो यहाँ पे आप नोट नंबर डालेंगे. ठीक है, कि जो भी आपका नोट होगा, मान लीजिए नोट नंबर 2 में आपने प्रिपेयर किया है तो यहाँ पे 2 लिखेंगे एंड फर्दर यू विल बी learning how to prepare the notes. Fine, so that we will be doing. Now the first one, I tell you students, till last year it was there. This year onwards you have to learn how to prepare the notes of share capital only. Rest of the notes is not in your syllabus. Means reserve and surplus and rest of the things. Till previous year we were preparing the notes of rest of the things, but this year onwards they have finished all that. So it's very easy for you now. So we have to learn how to prepare the note of share capital. Okay, so let's move back. So here we have seen this format of the balance sheet. Let's move back. So here I'm taking this example number 1, students, page number 8.10. Okay, so this example is taking following example with imaginary amounts they are taking. Shows how note to accounts on share capital is prepared when the company has received full nominal value of the share. Okay, means the full amount they have taken. Here we have to show like this, and its format is very simple. This is your note to accounts. Here it is your particulars, you can say, and here amount. Okay, so I have to show first share capital. Okay, now under share capital I have to show how to prepare the note. Very carefully you have to prepare. The first number comes of the authorized capital. Fine, so that will be mentioned in the question ki what is your authorized capital, that will be given. So here they have taken the imaginary figures. Say 1 lakh equity shares of rupees 10 each. Okay, and they may take the preference shares also if you have both kind of shares. Okay, so I'm taking the one only. So equity shares they have taken 1 lakh shares of rupees 10 each, and here amount comes 10 lakh, right? Then issued capital. Suppose 1 lakh equity share of rupees 10 each. They have authorized capital, and out of this authorized capital they have issued only 90,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. Okay, one thing is very important students, when you write this amount, authorized का आपने amount लिख दिया, so you have to draw these two lines. Okay, otherwise this will be totaled many times. So now I have to mention the issued capital, 90,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. So this comes 9 lakh rupees. All right, this is the 9 lakh rupees, and I have drawn the line. Now I will show subscribed capital. Subscribed capital, maybe the public has exactly applied for the same number of share. Okay, so I may show 90,000 equity share of rupees 10 each, and this way also this is your 9 lakh. All right, so this is your subscribed capital. Fine, now if I say this situation can be there in case subscribed capital, I mean they have subscribed for the whole amount, they may subscribe for the less number of amount. They may subscribe for 85,000 equity share of rupees 10 each. That time your capital will be, subscribed capital will be 8,50,000. Fine. Okay, and this comes subscribed capital means fully paid up. पूरे 10 रुपीज जितने आपने मांगे हैं, आपने पूरे 10 मांगे हैं और पूरे 10 मिल भी गए हैं. तो this subscribed capital is shown under the head subscribed capital and fully paid up. Okay, right? And suppose this is one condition. Another one can be subscribed capital, and here you show subscribed capital and not fully paid up, but not fully paid up. Okay, subscribed capital but not fully paid up. In what conditions this can be there? Suppose issued capital was 90,000. All right, now public, they have subscribed for 90,000. All right, so but one thing is there, on 80,000 shares, 80,000 shares of rupees 10 each, you have received the whole amount. Okay, so you have received 80,000 8 lakh. ठीक है, 80,000 शेयर्स पे पूरे 10 रुपीज आ गए, एंड जो बाकी के आपके 10,000 शेयर्स थे, 10,000 इक्विटी शेयर ऑफ रुपीज 10 ईच एंड पेड अप 8 ओनली. ठीक है, आपने मांगे 10 रुपीज बट उस पर आपको 8 रुपीज मिले हैं सिर्फ. ठीक है, तो आपके पास 1 लाख नहीं आके कितना आया, 10,000 into 8. You have received only 80,000 rupees. So how much total you have received? 8,80,000 you have received. So this is your subscribed capital. Is that clear? And we show in 2 categories. So 80,000 share of rupees 10 each, ये आप दिखाएंगे subscribed and fully paid up में. Okay, एंड जो दूसरे वाले 10,000 इक्विटी शेयर्स हैं, इसको दूसरी कैटेगरी में दिखाएंगे सब्सक्राइब बट नॉट फुली पेड अप में. इज दैट क्लियर स्टूडेंट्स? सो दिस दे आर शोइंग इन दिस नेक्स्ट एग्जाम्पल. यू कैन सी योर सेल्फ हेयर. दे आर शोइंग 1,50,000 इक्विटी शेयर्स ऑफ रुपीज 10 each. This is your authorized capital you have shown, and out of this, when you go through this question, you will find means 1,50,000 was the equity share of rupees 10 each. ये आपकी authorized capital थी, and out of this 1 lakh equity share you have issued, okay, of rupees 10 each. So issued capital में आ गया आपका 1 lakh into 10. आपने line draw कर दी. Now third comes further. It is telling it's telling that it was called in total nominal value so and so, and received the amount except final call of rupees 3 on 10,000 equity shares known as calls in arrear. Share capital of rupees 10,000 equity share will be classified, shown as subscribed but not fully paid up capital. So it's telling students 1 lakh equity shares आपने इशू किए थे, जिसमें से क्या हुआ, 90,000 शेयर्स पे पूरे 10 रुपीज आ गए. आर यू गेटिंग माई पॉइंट? यहाँ पे 2 चीज़ आपको जाननी है कि 10 रुपीज़ का शेयर था, एंड यू डिवाइड इन द स्मॉल पार्ट्स, कि कुछ आपको एप्लीकेशन पे, ये नेक्स्ट क्लास में हम सारा प्रैक्टिकल पढ़ेंगे. ठीक है, सो आपने डिवाइड किया कि एप्लीकेशन पे मुझे 3 रुपीज़ मिलेगा, अलॉटमेंट पे 2 मिलेगा, फर्स्ट कॉल पे 3 मिलेगा, फाइनल कॉल पे 2 मिलेगा. सो दैट वे दिस वी हैव डन द टोटल इज़ योर 10 रुपीज़. ओके, इस तरह से हम शेयर्स को डिवाइड करते हैं. तो यहाँ क्वेश्चन में दिया है कि फाइनल कॉल 3 रुपीज़ की डिसाइडेड थी, तो वो आपको नहीं मिली. ठीक है, कितने शेयर्स पे नहीं मिली? ये आपको नहीं मिली 10,000 शेयर्स पे, राइट? सो 90,000 शेयर्स पे आपको पूरा मिल गया. ओके, सो 90,000 into 10 is your 9 lakh you have received here, right? And later on you show internally subscribed but not fully paid up. It's telling that 10,000 shares of rupees 10 each. तो आपने मांगा कितना? पूरा मांगा. 10,000 शेयर्स पे 10 रुपीज़ के अकॉर्डिंग पूरा आपने 1 लाख उनसे मांगा, लेकिन आपको कितना नहीं मिला वो माइनस कर देंगे, तो बाकी बचा हुआ आपको मिल गया. ठीक है, तो कॉल्स इन एरियर का मतलब होता है जो आपको नहीं मिला. 3 रुपीज़ आपको नहीं मिला, तो 10,000 शेयर्स पे 3 रुपीज़ के अकॉर्डिंग 30,000 नहीं मिला, जो आपने माइनस कर दिया. ओके, सो हाउ मच यू हैव रिसीव्ड? 70,000. ठीक है, तो हमें मिला 9 लाख and 70,000 from the other category. So 9,70,000 is your total capital. Is that clear, students? तो ये 9,70,000 आपने क्या निकाला, शेयर कैपिटल निकाला, जो आपको शेयर कैपिटल में मेंशन करना है। और ये सारी क्या स्टोरी है, दिस इज द डिटेल ऑफ दैट शेयर कैपिटल एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड नोट टू अकाउंट्स, कि जो आपने बैलेंस शीट यहाँ पे प्रिपेयर की है, ये जो बैलेंस शीट है यहाँ पे शेयर कैपिटल के सामने आप लिख देंगे 9,70,000, ओके। एंड यहाँ पे नोट, दिस नोट नंबर में लिख देंगे 1, क्योंकि आपका ये कौन सा है जो नोट हमने प्रिपेयर किया है, आई हैव मेंशन नोट टू अकाउंट नंबर 1, तो इसको आपने नोट 1 का नाम दे दिया। सो हेयर द डिटेल डिस्कशन इज देयर and the total of this capital, whatever the problem you get, so this total, okay, this we write here in front of the share capital. Is that clear, students, how to prepare the note? So that's all, this is in your syllabus, how to prepare the note of share capital only, okay. reserve and surplus ये सारी चीज़ें I think नहीं है इस साल आपकी, ठीक है। So it's your homework, students, learn this note properly, I mean this balance sheet properly, and learn this note, how to prepare it, all right, and do these examples yourself. 3 examples are there, this you have to do, and tomorrow onwards we will start practicals, so by the time complete your theory portion, so easily we can move. Thank you.